Garden Terrace Housing versus Alisha Moore. And have the parties had an opportunity to visit and talk about this or not?
I do not believe they've spoken, Your Honor.
Okay, and your name, please, ma'am?
Sarah True,
Okay,
attorney for plaintiff.
That's right in front of me. And let's see, is she here, Alisha Moore?
Yes, I'm here.
Have you and Miss True had an opportunity to talk about this matter or not?
They gave me a paper, they gave me an eviction notice. When they gave me an eviction notice, I just paid a bill. I just paid a bill this past couple of days, like 2 days ago, and they giving me papers to the mailbox.
Okay, would it do
And
any good? Would it do
yes,
any good for the two of you to visit, or have we gone
Yeah.
beyond the point?
It's
Your
okay.
Honor,
Excuse me. You can go ahead.
sorry. Your Honor, this is not for the non-payment of rent. This is for prohibitive conduct issues.
Yeah.
There have been several instances of prohibited conduct, so I don't believe that a discussion would be
Okay.
beneficial in this case.
All right. Okay. Yeah, I skimmed over the petition ahead of time. All right. We better just go ahead with the hearing then, and the plaintiff's ready to proceed.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
And are you ready to proceed, Ms. Moore?
Yes.
Okay, the plaintiff may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an eviction based on breaches of lease related to prohibited conduct. Specifically, the defendant has breached paragraph 11.1 of the lease by behaving in a loud or dangerous manner and threatening the comfort and safety of multiple members of Garden Terrace staff. In the first instance, this occurred in March of 2025. I submitted a video as Exhibit 3 for this. The video is a little difficult to see, but I do have a witness here that can testify to who the parties in the video are. But in this video, there's a staff member and the defendant is seen dressed in all black waiting by the staff member's car in the dark after she had gotten off of her shift, and is seen swinging a branch at the staff member while the staff member backs away in a defensive position, and the police were called to the property in response to this. And I also have a witness here, Anna, if you can confirm that this is what the video shows and that the defendant is seen in the video threatening the staff member with a branch.
Yes, that is what happened. We did have a staff member and when we did get the lease violation to Alisha on one of the following days after that incident, she did admit to me and my assistant and the program manager at that time that she went out her window and she did grab a branch, and that she had went to the staff member's vehicle to wait for when she got off her shift to confront her.
Can I say something? Excuse me.
We'll give you a chance, ma'am.
Okay,
Let's let them finish, and then you'll have your chance.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you, Your Honor. And then during the second instance of conduct, the defendant entered the front office of Garden Terrace on June 11th of 2025 around 2 p.m. and threatened the acting manager, Anna Alvarez, at Garden Terrace, screaming that she was going to get her and that she would wait for her to get off work. Anna, in your own words, can you explain a little bit about what happened that day, please?
Yes. So it was around 1:40.
Let me, before I go, can I get you to raise your right hand, please? The testimony you've given this hearing, you promise to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So it was around 1:45 on June the 11th of 2025, and I heard Alisha screaming very loudly in the lobby area, which there had been some verbal behavior against me that was progressively getting worse and prior to that week. So I knew that her yelling was mainly coming towards me. And per our corporate office directives, they want us to kind of stay inside of our offices to make sure that we are safe. So at that time, it was a situation where I did have other employees informing me what was going on, even though I could hear her screaming. inside of my office. I couldn't necessarily hear what she was saying, but they were warning me that she was saying that she wanted to fight me, that it was a situation that she was angry, that she wanted to fight me. And they were saying to please make sure that I was staying locked up inside of my office, and that she had mentioned that she was waiting for me to get off work. It was a situation where I had the resident services team come in. So I'll just kind of read you what I wrote. I just put, so I stayed in my office. I knew the screaming was being directed at me. Due to my door being shut, I couldn't make out exactly what she was screaming, but my assistant came into the office and told me that she was saying that she would wait until 4 o'clock when I exited the office. And I had the staff member mention that they were scared for what that might mean. I texted my supervisor at that time, and then she had it to where she worked out with another coworker to kind of cause a distraction with Alkeisha, so that way she couldn't see me exit my office. And so I had it to where I had to have another coworker and along with my maintenance man escort me out of my office in a different part of the building. So then that way she would not be able to see me when I left. And then later on, she sat there until almost 4 o'clock. This incident happened at like 1:45. So she sat in the lobby area just waiting for me to leave. And then when I had to come back to get one of my bags, because I had to abruptly leave around 5:30, the shift clerk that was working that night, because I had to call from my vehicle, and the shift clerk had to bring me my bag, and was saying that she still was sitting out there from 4 to 5 saying that she was going to get me or get my ass, and waiting for me to come out of the office.
And Your Honor, I also submitted an Exhibit 4, which is an incident statement that the staff filled out after this, which was what I believe Anna was reading off of before. So the court has a copy of that as well.
Okay.
And then Anna, can you explain to me just very briefly how you kind of felt, or if you were afraid during this instance that occurred in June?
Yeah, I was extremely nervous for myself, especially with the first incidents that took place, knowing that she had went through a window and grabbed a blunt object and had met that person and knew what time that person had got off work. It was the same behavior that was being acted out towards me, because she knew kind of when my shift ended, and she was making mentioning of that to other staff members, like that she was just going to sit and wait for me to leave. So I was extremely nervous. I actually asked to work on a different property the next day, because I was nervous about what she could possibly do. And the fact that it was hours long, it wasn't just one outburst where she said it quickly and then walked away. It was hours of her saying the same thing over and over again.
Thank you, Anna. And then based on the conduct during these 2 incidents, Your Honor, the plaintiff delivered a 30-day notice to vacate on June 28th. Chandela, can you confirm that this notice was hand-delivered and mailed to the defendant?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. And then, Your Honor, to our knowledge, the defendant is not vacated, so we are seeking possession, court costs, and attorney's fees in the amount of $1,000.
Okay, so she's vacated the premise?
She has not, Your Honor.
Oh,
She's
okay.
still living there.
And what was the monetary amount sought one more time?
We're seeking $1,000 for attorney's fees. We're not seeking any back due rent.
Okay. Thank you. Now, Ms. Moore, you have an opportunity. Did you wish to testify and tell
Yes,
your
I'm about to
side of this?
testify, sir. Yes, I'm about to testify.
If you'd raise your right hand, ma'am. In the
Right here.
testimony you give in this hearing, do you promise to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Danger becomes real as staff describe confrontations and police involvement, gripping the audience.
Nothing but the truth.
Thank you. Why don't you go ahead and tell me your side of this?
Okay, my side of the story. When the manager first started, I didn't know the manager. She brought Rachel outside. When she brought Rachel outside, I was sitting outside by myself. Her and Rachel came outside in the daylight. They didn't say nothing, so I got up. And when I got up, they went back inside. They went back inside. Well, I went back inside first, and they were still out there. So I don't know the manager. The manager's supposed to be new. So in a Rachel perspective or something like that, or whatever the case may be, Rachel is going through a hormone. I asked Rachel, I said, Rachel, you need something or whatever, she not eating. I said, Rachel, you want some pickles or something like that for the homeowner. So when I told X that, they had another man that I was helping up here, and I was cooking for him at night. And he asked, say, go ask Rachel if she needs something to eat. She looked at me like I was crazy. She thought I was giving her a pickle like a man's dick. And at the same time after that, when I finished, I was walking up I was walking up the hallway with the pot. She said, well, let me see how it tastes. You don't tell a woman to see how it tastes. That's like giving a man, that's like telling a man, telling another woman, suck a man's dick. You understand that? So I was on the phone. What they talking about with Rachel and her problem. I was on the phone with somebody, and it was Valentine's. So she's like giving me the thumbs up, like, because she don't have no communication. So by me just talking to the people when they be like, hey, how you doing, or whatever the case may be, and we're just communicating in a group like that, and we'll go about our business. That's the case of the matter. So it's like you're not walking around to do your job. You're not walking around to do your job, and everybody see it. So when we out there, we talking, we communicating, go do your job and don't worry about nobody else. So it was one of these days or whatever the day, she was like, well, can you go knock on this person's door? So I said, okay, I'm gonna knock on the person's door. So when I knock on the person's door, they didn't answer the door. So I sit down, in the lobby, because that's where we sit at, we resting or whatever the case may be. We want to sit inside or we go somewhere. So she was like, can you go knock on it again? So I knocked on it again for her. And this person's in a wheelchair. It's gonna take a person a while to get out the wheelchair. So that person didn't know that person was coming. And that person, he came out and he didn't know he was coming. So I'm not gonna do your job for you. So another sentence. The next sentence, the fire alarm went off. So we still sitting out there. Everybody just, a few people, we talking or whatever the case may be. And she come out and she said, you know where that's coming from? And we just looking like, okay, they have stoves downstairs because I'm in a dungeon way downstairs. And I don't know what's going on upstairs unless I go up there. That's not my job. So I say, it must be coming from the kitchen or it may be coming from downstairs. That's the only ones that have the stoves and whatever else they have up in there. So I was walking toward the kitchen. So when I was walking toward the kitchen, she was walking behind, on the side of me, like walking with me. So she heard me. Well, I raised my voice a little bit so the man can hear me because he had earplugs in his ear because that's the stove burning. So he was like, well, don't holler at me. And that's the case when you gotta, just move out the way so I can turn it off. She's sitting up there, she just looking. You ain't gonna tell him nothing? And I'm doing your job for you. Look like I'm doing your job for you. So that's the problem right there. So besides that, and to drop that, what they're talking about with the stick, she's doing it again, like communication conversation. To some, on the phone, she eat behind a desk. She brought some food. You don't eat behind a desk, behind a computer. You don't do that behind a computer. She listens to music behind a computer. She's doing what she wants behind a computer. One day she was like, well, here, go listen to your music if I want to tell her something. And she's looking at me in the dark, in the dark. And, she's just getting up, like, just looking at me. What's on my face that you're looking at? And, I'm like, I'm not going to do nobody's job. I didn't come here for nobody's psychiatrist. I'm doing my own psychiatrist. And last year, I did the fair. I traveled with family. Did the fair. I traveled with family. I'm on a treadmill at 7:30 in the morning, and nobody, a few people up, and everybody sleep. They don't know I'm on a treadmill, so that's why my weight is going down. I'm going through a little hormone. So her little hormone against my little hormone, trying to give us some pickles or something, trying to help her, whatever the case be. Everybody like trying to help us, something like that. And one lady's like, hell, she don't want to do a job anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna sit up there and get put out. I've been helping people, not the kinds of my heart or whatever the case may be, helping folks, and I've been doing me. But the manager on her end, I don't know the manager. Don't come at me like that. And when I was working with somebody through a resume on a job, I'm professional, like a certified nurse. So with her, I'm working with her. The manager gonna come behind me because the assistant manager gave her a box, and they bring the box. They brings the box at any time of the day to fix on the building. So she walking behind me all lightly. She just walking, just all, creepy, not creepy. I ain't gonna say it like that. Just, just walking lightly so the box won't fall. So I get to the lady halfway to the lady door. So when I get halfway to the lady door, the box get knocked over and it falls like she playing, the manager. You're gonna wait until you get in between a curve. You don't like driving to make the box fall, and whatever's in the box gonna fall and it's gonna break in the box and you're gonna have to pay for it too. So I thought it was somebody fell out their chair or somebody just hit the floor. So knowing a person, they're gonna say something. And if their voice get louder, why it happened? Because you was walking behind me all lightly and you're gonna wait until you get to the, to make the turn to be playing kiki in with the assistant that she have working on the first shift and they playing. Do not play like, because I don't play like that. And if you needed help for me to help you, I would have. So besides with the manager, she playing in the dark with the light off. So the
Your
light,
Honor.
it's like ghosts. It's like ghosts, playing ghosts, like Whipper Goldberg. So when I
Okay.
pass the office, and I don't mess with nobody like that. I don't tell nobody nothing. I do what I have to do. She playing with her little hair, like she have hair on her face.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I need to object to this.
Yeah.
I want to let the defendant
That's
speak,
all right.
but none of this has anything to do with the two instances of conduct that were the reasons for the notice to vacate.
I understand that, but I'm just, excuse me, ma'am, I'm just explaining. And it's one more thing, and I'm just gonna close my mouth. The stick, when I went out there, and even if I just don't want to do it privately out there with him without nobody knowing, just to tell her, because I am not here to play. And if I had to do your job, I would have helped you or something like that, say something, because I'm good with the computer, whatever the case may be. The stick wasn't in my hand to hit her. The stick was just in my hand just to calm my leave, whatever the case may be, because for one, I'm tired, I'm going through a little hormone. You know what I'm saying? And it was just in my hand, so it just traveled with me. So I'm like, raising it up, but I didn't hit her. But they didn't see when she braced up. And when she braced up, that made me, or whether she was listening at first. Because if she had to listen and just go whatever, go around the car, whatever, because she was kind of scared. How you gonna be scared to go around your car? What if somebody was jumped the gate and you didn't say, you would have got hit or something? That's what I'm trying to say. What if you would have got hit or something like that? She listened for a little bit and she was like, I'm tired of you. If you're going through a hormone too, you need to let the manager know that you tired. Because I work myself, but I'm not working right now, but I was. So
Okay.
I'm like, it didn't hit her to hit her. She braced up at me and that made me I slung the stick. But instead of me sitting up there trying to hit her, I grabbed her purse. When I grabbed her purse, she was like, yeah. So I just put it down. I throw it down, but I just put put it to the floor. You're not gonna sit up there and play me and have me doing your job. So that's the point of the matter. If you don't want to do your job, you might as well find another job or let the manager know, or you need to, if you're tired or whatever the case may be, you need to go home and let the manager know. She going through a little hormone. She talking about she just got out. They had a man come. They have people come with their food. They had a man come. Do they have any nurses or whatever the case may be? I had to go look for her and stuff, look for her. And she just coming out the restaurant talking about her stomach hurt. If your stomach hurt, you need to go home. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's a hormone thing. It's a little mental thing. And I did not sit up there and threaten the manager, because the manager should have came to me as a woman to my door and talked to me when the manager knocked on my door and I'm sleeping. Or not sleeping, but resting. I'm the manager. Of course, we know you're the manager because you put the paper on the door and your name is at the bottom. And I already see if I need you, if I will tell you. And every time I go out there, I feel harassed by her. I know how to knock on the door for the assistant manager or whatever the case may be. And I'm going to talk the knock on the door. Every time I go out there, she's knocking for me. I'm not handicapped. I know how to knock or whatever the case may be. I don't need you to do it. That's like school. We don't go to the office for no or whatever, so no bull crap. If we need it in emergency, we will go.
Okay,
So I don't know the
that's-
manager.
There's a video, Madam Clerk. Is it possible for us to see the video or not?
It is, Your Honor. Give me 1 second to screen share.
I'm not doing nobody else's job and I get paid.
Give me 1 second, it's still.
No communication skills.
Okay, 1 second, I'm gonna make it bigger on my side.
The pressure mounts as legal actions are formally announced, leaving no room for compromise.
He heard it. She should have went home. And somebody else was like, well, hell, she looked like she don't want to do a job. She need to go find another job. She act like she don't want to do it. And I'm cleaning up this little box, this little apartment, whatever it is, since last year. Giving stuff away. Y'all see that in the camera? It's all in the kitchen. The laundry room. And I'm still doing it. I'm about to slow down.
And I'm gonna object again to relevance. I'm not sure what the defendant is speaking
All
out,
right,
but again, it's
You know, because I'm doing it on my own. I'm doing my own thing. I don't have the problem. I don't have the time to do that. Somebody else's job. That's our homeowner. Already.
It's painfully obvious to me that the landlord-tenant relationship is dissolved to such an extent that, you know,
Communication conversation that she don't have. She don't have no communication skills. All on the phone.
that
And
be
even
that
behind the computer. That's
as
not my
it
business.
may, I think based on all of that, the parties need to have physical distance between them. So we're going to award the plaintiff judgment for possession and the fees sought. And we'll send everyone a copy of the judgment. But there's no way for, it's more, I don't know why you'd want to live in a place like this where the relationship is deteriorated to this extent. But anyway, we'll award plaintiff judgment in the amount sought. Thank you all.
Your Honor,
Thank
what's
you.
the bond?
$2,000.
Okay,
It's next. Next is CRP-GREP Elon Dawson.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, before we hear that case, is there any way we have an agent that has another hearing
Okay,
within the next few minutes? If we can hear case 1195. Ms. Moore,
Okay.
did you have a question?
Hold on
Ms.
now.
Moore? Okay,
okay,
I
1190.
don't have a question, but I appreciate the outcome. Because I'm not doing nobody's job. I'm doing my own job up here trying to keep it clean. I've been
Next will be O.H. Riddell. Doing business Lennox Woods versus Kenneth Pierce. Is a representative for O.H. Riddell. Lennox Woods present.
Good morning, Your Honor. Kellen Carcos for the plaintiff.
And is Kenneth Pierce present?
Yes, sir. Present.
Have y'all had a chance to visit and see if you can work this out or not?
If he was
We
going
have
to,
not. I'm sorry.
if
Go
he was going to
ahead.
work it out, he would have needed to go into the property to work it out. My orders from the property are to move forward with judgment.
All right. Okay. Let's see why don't you go ahead and explain your side of this, why you wish to evict Mr. Pierce?
This is failure to pay rent. Rent is $16.74 a month. He owes July, August, and the prorated of September for a total of $3,850.20 in back rent through today. Notice to vacate was given on August 6th. There's no government subsidies, and we're seeking back rent, court cost, and possession.
So the monthly rent was $1,674, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
And he has not paid rent for the months of July and August and so far in September, is that right?
Correct.
Okay. And Mr. Pierce, what's your defense?
I don't have a great defense. I've just been in between jobs. I started working again. I got behind on my rental payments. And then, when the first of the month comes, the next month is added. I did 2 months ago. I was trying to pay the first month that was delinquent. I was trying to get that paid online. I don't have a car right now, so it's hard for me to make it to the bank, get cashier's checks. But for some reason, the property manager, I know that I had made a payment at one point during 1 month, and then my bank account was $1 something short, so the payment bounced. And after that, I've been locked out of the online payment portal for the last 2 months. I reached out to the property management and never got a reply back from them. I let her know. I sent her screenshots of me trying to make the payments. Let her know that, the online stuff wasn't working. And through the online portal, it says, if the payment's not going through, contact property management, which I did. And that was before the first, and I would have been able to have that rent payment paid. And then I definitely would have been late on the next month rent, but I would have had that in and not been in this predicament. Um, I'll have the full amount of payment within the next 2 pay cycles. I get paid every week now at this new job. I've got half of it as of tomorrow. And then it'll take me the next week, and then the following Monday when I'll have the rest of it. Um, so this is my home for me and my son. I'm a single father. I went through a separation 2 years ago that just really knocked me back a long ways. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I want to make this right. I don't want to lose my apartment. I don't want to lose a place to live for my son. We worked really hard to get into there, and I really appreciate the Lennox Woods. It's a nice place to live for my son. It's right down the street from his school. So I just want to get caught up and get this all past me and get back out of the red and into the black. But I'm doing
So-
everything I can. I mean, I'm working and I want to make these payments. I'm not trying to stiff these people at all. They're great, great people and great management.
But as of right now, you you do not have the 3850, is that correct?
I do not have the 3850. I will have it in 2 weeks or less. 2 weeks for sure.
Your Honor, it's probably going to be more than that just because September's prorated for the 9 days. So I would
Correct.
definitely,
And I'll have it. I'll have the September as well. I'm gonna get it all caught up. I just need a little time. And
I
just,
appreciate your situation, and but I think I'm bound by the law that as of right now, there's a rental arrearage, so I'm compelled to give them a judgment for possession. However, if you can get the money and bring it to them, they may relent. I don't know. I guess that's between you and the apartment complex, but I think the evidence is clear at this time. There is a rental arrearage, so we have to award the judgment to the plaintiff at
can
3850.
I do an appeal to buy myself some more time,
Sure.
etc.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can do that, and you have some time. And like I say, I don't know, if you can get some money together and go visit them, they may relent. I
I don't know the lady that's representing our apartment complex, but I mean, is there a way that I could pay like what I can come up with tomorrow in good faith? I mean, I hate it's really hard to keep that money in the bank account, wait for the next checks, and when these, payments get added on and it's not accepted in full. I really could have paid this 2 months ago if I could have just got through that online portal. but I've not gotten a message back. And I would be happy if you give me your information to share the screenshot, share the messages that I've sent to management. But I work 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday.
Her story adds layers of complexity, making viewers question the full picture of events.
And like I said, I don't have a car, so getting to the bank, Ubering, it's just really, really difficult.
I understand you need to go in and talk to the management, make time, but after there's 2 NSF fees on the account. And once you go into an eviction status, it locks the portal. And once you have those NSFs, it locks the portal so that only guaranteed funds can be accepted from here on out.
I understand. Yep.
So yeah, why don't I suggest you amass whatever funds you can and go down there in person and visit with them.
I
And
will. I'll make it a point to do that tomorrow. My paycheck goes through the end of the night or first thing in the morning.
all
And I'll
right,
be able to, I mean, at least make a money order and present it in good faith.
sure.
If they take it,
That's
they
what I do.
take
I
it. If they
mean,
don't, then
money in hand is worth a whole lot more than a piece of paper called a judgment saying you owe money. So we'll award the plaintiff their judgment and hopefully it'll be resolved in the next couple of days. Thank you. I wish you good luck.
okay.
Your Honor, what's the
Thank you.
bond?
That was $38.50. The appeal bond $3,300. Thank you all. Good luck.
Thank you.
May we excuse Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Your Honor, if you wanted to go back, it would have been 1185.
Okay. CRP-GREP Elon Dawson versus Tito Guerrero. Ms. True, were you on this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay, are the defendants here, Tito Cueto?
Yes, I believe he's
Cueto?
here.
Y'all are here? Okay. Why don't the plaintiff go ahead and tell me what you're seeking?
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an eviction based on the non-payment of rent. The monthly rent is $1,948. We are requesting back due rent for August and prorated September for a total amount of $2,533. The 3-day notice was hand delivered on August 11th, and the defendant is still in possession. So we are seeking possession, back due rent, court costs, and attorney's fees in the amount of $500.
I guess, Mr. Cueto, are you online?
Yes, good morning.
Or what's your side of this issue?
Good morning, Your Honor. My name is Tito Cueto. I am one of the tenants staying here. The other is my brother. I understand this hearing is regarding unpaid rent. I respectfully want to inform the court that I have the full amount owed and prepared to obtain a certified check by the end of the business day today. If I could just request a brief continuance in order to deliver this payment to the landlord. And also my lease ends tomorrow, so I'm committed to resolving this matter promptly to avoid any further issues. So thank you for your consideration.
Sure. Were you planning to move out or not?
I am going to move out, yes.
And Ms. True, what's your position?
Your Honor, I haven't spoken to my client about it, so I'm not 100% sure what they would decide. However, I have been instructed to go forward today just because we have had gone through numerous eviction processes with this tenant. However, should they move out at the end of their lease and be able to bring in the full payment as he stated, I could speak to my client and potentially file a release of judgment or request to vacate the judgment from the court. But at this moment, we are still seeking the judgment today.
Together, so we solely are responsible for the child. We take care of the child, no daycare, no anything.
Okay,
So,
well, let me say, would it do any good for the representative to talk with these folks or not?
Your Honor, I don't have that authority. I would encourage the tenants to reach out to management for this, but my instructions are to go forward with this eviction.
All right, why don't you just go ahead and tell me your side and then I'll listen to his side.
Yes, sir. The monthly rent, this is an eviction sought for non-payment. The monthly rent is $1,169. Notice to vacate was issued July 7th, and it was a 30-day notice. The notice to vacate was sent via first-class mail, and I show that it was in fact mailed on July 7th and delivered on July 14th. The past due rent is $3,410, which includes a June balance and then the full rent for July, August, and September prorated. And no part of this is paid by a governmental entity.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, and your position on this?
Yes, and like I was saying, during the starting June, I was back and forth between the hospital with my diabetic problems, and Anna Mendez is the only one to take care of the child at the moment. So that hinders her from working, and so she would have to call off and take care of the child while I was in the hospital. I was back and forth like for June and July. And we recently both of us have a switched jobs per se. So we have just gotten new jobs, and we were waiting for our paychecks to catch up, and now we're catching up at the moment. And
They can't take any partial payment.
but yeah, they're not taking any partial payments at the moment, so we have to scramble the money up and save it. So therefore that we can pay them off. We would like to pay them off because it's a great place to live. It's really close to our child's school, and we just really like the environment overall. So we're definitely trying to get the money to them. At the moment, I would say we have
Half of it, well,
more than half,
yeah.
probably like we have like 65-70% of it. And we will have the rest in 2 weeks when the payroll comes back around. So we'll like soon as we get paid, we will definitely try and pay them off of whatever we owe.
Well, it's clear that the rent hasn't been paid for June, July, August, September, so the court doesn't have any choice other than to grant possession of the property to the plaintiff. Now, if you get the money together, you can go talk to them, and they can always relent, but if not, so we're going to be judgment for possession to the plaintiff with a arrearage of $3,410 and an appeal bond of $2,400. But I'm sorry about your health issues, and I hope you can come up with some money and work it out with them. But
No, definitely. We will definitely, like I said, if we can just have the 2 weeks until we get
everything in full.
we can pay everything in full.
that'll have to be between you and them. You know, that's fine with me, but legally I'm giving them judgment for possession of the premise. But if you all can work it out, that's great.
Understandable. And if we pay off the amount, Your Honor, will the eviction still uphold, or what will happen to the eviction?
Well, that's sort of up to them.
Okay.
But hopefully they call it off if you pay the full amount.
Okay.
But anyway, I wish you good luck. Sorry about this.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trillium Investments versus.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Oh, yes, yes,
That was
ma'am.
my last case.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks for your help today.
Thank you.
The courtroom drama broadens, showing multiple lives affected and the high stakes of legal battles.
Trillium Investments versus Kevin Lotz. Is there someone here for Trillium Investments?
Yes, Alexandra Loya here for the plaintiff.
And Kevin Lotz?
Yes, sir, here.
Okay. And what's the plaintiff side of this?
So this case is for non-payment of rent for August and prorate of September. The rental amount is $1,559. The 3-day notice to vacate was delivered on August 8th, posted inside the dwelling. No part of the rent is paid by the government, and the total for August, the past due for August and the prorate for September is $2,027.
Mr. Lotz, do you have a defense or an explanation?
Yes, I do. I had an employer not pay me, and I've been dealing with them for the last month, trying to get my money back from them. I have set up payment for Trillium by the end of the week for the amount in full plus late fees.
Have you talked to them and they came to you came to an agreement?
We were talking via email. I haven't received any communication via phone.
But as of today, you owe the 2027. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hmm. And how long before you get that paid, do you think?
I will have it to them this week for sure.
Why don't we go ahead and, since it's not paid, award judgment for possession to Trillium. However, if you go pay that amount, they can decide not to proceed any further with this.
Excellent,
So that
thank you.
was 2027 with a bond amount of 3,000. Okay, good luck. I hope you come up with the money.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Southside Dwell, doing business as Prospect versus Julio Cruz is a representative for Southside.
Good morning, Your Honor. Sarah True for Southside.
Julio Cruz.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, the plaintiff may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is an eviction based on the non-payment of rent. The monthly rent is $2,125, and we are requesting back to rent for July, August, and a prorated September for a total amount of $4,887.50. The notice was posted on the inside of the main entry door on August 8th, and to our knowledge, the defendant is still in possession, and therefore we are seeking possession, back to rent, court costs, and attorney's fees in the amount of $750.
Okay, Mr. Cruz, what's your position?
So since then, I was let go of the barbecue restaurant that I used to manage. And now I'm doing roofing because I just had to, get the job. I am, long story short, it's been a difficult summer. I have my daughter every day, so I need a place to stay. The property's been great, so I have nothing against them. It's only been on my side, the difficulty to have steady income this far. I since then had a now second job in the evenings. What I will say is that I can come up with the total amount by the end of this week. I've already sought out a loan. I'm just waiting for the approval. There's no reason why I shouldn't get approved. And then I'll just pay the full amount owed. And I would definitely appreciate it like I said, I have no hard feelings with management. I think we have pretty good communication when we've had it. So I'm just out here working hard. The hardest thing for me is paying high rent for a place I'm not really there a whole lot. I literally leave like at 7 a.m. and come back at times till like 10 p.m., which is neither here nor there. But I would just like to remain there after I paid clearly, and then be consistent and just finish out my term. I believe it ends in December, and then just seek out a more economical place for me to stay, and have my daughter for her and I to just kind of live.
What's the plaintiff's position?
Your Honor, I have been instructed to go forward today, so we are seeking a judgment today. However, if Mr. Cruz goes in to speak to management and they can come up with some sort of arrangement, then I can notify the court of that if we're able to hold off on anything or request any sort of vacation of the judgment.
And like I said, I could go in there today. I'll call the loan officer today and see if I can get that ASAP so I can go in there with a payment form in hand. Okay, so I'm not wasting anybody's time.
Well, for right now, we'll award the obvious rent will pay judgment to the plaintiff. However, if you can go in there and pay it, they can, then proceed to dismiss the matter. But
Yes, sir.
Judgment for the plaintiff and the relief they sought. I wish you good luck.
I appreciate you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Your Honor, what's the bond on that one?
The bond is 42. That was a arrearage of 488,750. Attorney fee of 750.
Thank you.
TR Preserve Corporation versus Leah Cook. Is there a representative for TR Preserve?
I'm here for TR Preserve, Your Honor.
Oh, goody.
This is my last one. I promise. This is the last one.
There we go. I'm impressed. Yeah, a lot of cases. Is Miss Leah Cook here?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. What is the plaintiff seeking?
This is an eviction for non-payment of rent, Your Honor. The monthly rent is $1,527. We're seeking back to rent for July, August, and prorated September for a total amount of $3,722. The notice was posted on the inside of the door on August 6th, and we are seeking possession, back to rent, court costs, and attorney's fees in the amount of $750.
And Ms. Cook, your defense is what?
I'm looking at the papers right now. The paper that I was delivered was on August 28th. I did have a member of the preserve staff come by yesterday about 5:30 p.m., which is I went out of town for about 3 weeks. I went to Italy from August 8th to September 3rd to visit my long-term boyfriend's sick father and aunt, which is a yearly trip that we do. So I had somebody come, a friend of mine and a coworker who came by and checked my cats and stayed with the apartment. He collected my mail and all the sheets. I did not look at all of my mail and the accumulation of things until the weekend, but I didn't receive this paper of the eviction citation until August 28th. And then I emailed Kelly Bailey, who's assistant property manager, yesterday, telling her that I can make a payment. Since I'm past due on the account, they freeze it like your online resident portal. I told her I could make it a payment that day for $2,000, or I could do it this morning. If I went to Chase and got a cashier's check, I could do that amount. And then I get paid this Friday, September 12th, where I can make a payment of the same exact thing to kind of even out the balance.
What does the plaintiff have to say about this?
Same as previous, Your Honor. I obviously am not privy to communications that happened recently between the defendant and the property. However, we are seeking judgment today, but if Ms. Cook does speak to the property and is able to come up with a payment, then we could potentially proceed from there with either holding off on the writ if need be, or requesting the judgment be vacated.
Okay, well, obviously the rent hasn't been paid, so the plaintiff's entitled to judgment. However, you heard, if you can get together the money, go there and pay them, they can terminate this. But at this time, we're compelled to award the plaintiff judgment.
Absolutely. I'm sorry to interrupt. There was a previous incident that happened last month. I do have a co-signer who is my dad, who did make a large sum of money. Before I left for the trip to Italy, he had assured me that he was going to take care of what remaining balance was going to take care of this month. Obviously, that was my misfault in trusting that he was going to take care of it while I was out of the country. I didn't have international phone billing. The Wi-Fi was kind of in and out. They live in a very discreet part of the boot of Italy, so they don't have much Wi-Fi. So that is definitely my negligence, not taking care of those things financially before I left and entrusting my co-signer that he was going to take care of it and taking his word. But now that I'm back back in town and back in the States, I'm more than happy to make that payment today. And then again, make a very similar amount, the same similar amount this Friday, if possible.
So you're going to be able to pay the total amount by the end of the week?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
Madam Clerk, why don't we just reset this one? Was that September 16 with that other case?
That docket is now full, Your Honor.
Well, this will be
yeah.
pretty simple. I mean, she'll either pay it or she won't. Is there another day sooner?
The next day after that would be the 18th at 9.
Okay, let's just continue this to September 18. But Ms. Cook, you need to get the total amount, everything they say you owe them paid.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, thank you. September 18.
All right, September 18th, 9 a.m.
Yeah, parties will get a new notice.
Perfect. Thank you kindly.
Fairfield Mission James Place versus Breonna Smith.
We're here.
So is Breonna Smith here?
Yes, I do believe she is.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. If the plaintiff,
Sorry, can you hear me?
If the plaintiff would tell me what you're seeking.
Yes, sir. So a notice to vacate was posted on the inside of the dwelling August 8th. We are requesting rent from March of this year with a balance of $4,923.70. Essentially, we've tried to work with the resident as far as, you know, maybe her just leaving as a skip, and she has yet to do that. So we are just requesting possession.
What's the monthly rent?
$929.
And they've been in arrears since March?
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
That shows we've been trying to work with her, did not actually serve an eviction. And she let us know that we would just have to serve her for her to leave. So we did that.
Ms. Smith, do you have a explanation?
Yes, so I lost my job. It's just me and my daughter. So once childcare got hard for me, keeping the bills and stuff up was a little bit hard. I do also remember speaking to the previous management, not too much as well as Miss Jackson, but I tried to do my best. It's coming up with, the rent, but with with everything just being me, I don't have family out here. I wasn't even ready to get my own apartment. It was just, I had to be a mother. I had to do what I had to do for my child. So, my last option was to get this apartment, and I wouldn't have even gotten this apartment if, if I would have been able to control my own actions. But there's not really much I can say as to why, the things went the way they did. I just know, things got hard. I lost my job. Childcare was hard to find. I finally got my child into school. So have a couple of interviews today actually to get me a better paying job. That way we can potentially find us somewhere to go. I completely understand where Ms. Jackson come from, and I actually do want to thank you because y'all have definitely been working with me for a very long time. And it got to a point where I knew that I wasn't going to be able to pay the rent, but I wanted to keep a roof over me and my daughter's head as long as possible. So I just I tried to prolong as long as I could, and now I just want to know how long and what the steps I need to take is, and pretty much how long I have to make sure that I have the funds and stuff that way to make sure me and my daughter is good. That's really all I'm asking, Your Honor.
Well, I feel sorry for the difficulties you've encountered, but court has no choice but to award the plaintiff the judgment they're seeking, along with the $4,923.70, and there's a $2,000 bond amount. But I wish you good luck, Ms. Smith. I'm sorry you've come upon such hard times. Hopefully things will get better. Thank you.
Thank you. I just have one question.
Yes,
I don't know if
ma'am.
I ask you or if I ask the management, what would be the steps that I would take after this? I've never been through a process like this. I don't really know what to expect. So I just wanted to see if anyone could help me, what is the steps that I would take after this?
Well, they're going to get a judgment that says they're entitled to possession of the property. And I mean, you can work with them to decide if you can come up to an agreement when you'd move out. That's the best way to come to an agreement, so they don't have to, get the constable or some people to come there and put your furniture out in the street. So try to talk to them and come to an agreement.
Okay, will do. Thank you so much.
Okay, good luck.
Ms. Smith, I'm also gonna send you some appeal paperwork. You're gonna have 5 days to file an appeal. So if you read over the packet and you're still kind of confused on what it's asking or what it's stating, just give the court a call, and then you can still reach out to your landlord.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Are there any cases we have yet to call?
No, Your Honor, we are good to go.
Thank you.
All parties are free to leave. Ms. Moore, did you have a question before?
Resolution and advice. Emotional closure unfolds. Viewers see the human side of eviction with guidance, hope, and a real sense of closure. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next video.